What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brian here with Triggered Wrestling. We're here to talk about AEW Dynamite, Monday Night Raw, everything that happened in the past week of wrestling. So stay tuned for all that and more on this episode of Triggered Wrestling.
Triggered Wrestling is so awesome all the way around. That gets me triggered.
Ooh, okay, well, let's go with the bad trigger right now.
See, I'm a fan of all of it.
Will force you to watch Triggered Wrestling.
Bro, last week was something to talk about. We had a lot of action, a lot of news, but let's get this news out of the way. And I want to give a shout out to my first love, Club America, that won Liga MX this past weekend.
Wow, bro. This is a wrestling podcast. I'm just kidding.
I know, right? I just wanted to say that because they beat some jobbers, some team known as Tigres, thinking they had a chance against the almighty Club America, the Roman Reigns of Mexican soccer teams. Let's go.
So would you say that Club America was on the roids? Just like my boy AJ Styles who made a return on Friday Night SmackDown. That boy was looking yoked AF.
Yes, man. What is happening? I mean, him and Randy Orton are looking a little juiced. There were some pictures of CM Punk taken with NXT talent as well. He also looks a little on the juice. Wouldn't you say?
So I did mention it before. Like, he looks scrawny as fuck in AEW, and then when he shows up in WWE, he's looking swole. He looks like he's been hitting the gym. Randy Orton supposedly been hitting the gym, but I know he was on the roids before because he got popped for it before and got suspended. But AJ Styles, my God, I don't know how old he is. I'm not going to Google it right now, but he's looking yacked, bro.
Yes, that soccer mom haircut. I don't think nobody's going to say that to his face now. Hopefully, he can get some W's now and can reunite with his former faction, known as the OC, along with Mitchin, because they are some jobbers. They're nowhere to be seen. And AJ Styles looks like a threat. He looks like a threat to Roman Reigns' title reign. Yeah, man, it's fucking amazing. Man looks great.
To be honest, I don't think we're going to be seeing the OC anytime soon. Just like we're not going to be seeing Liv Morgan anytime soon because she's been hanging out with Matt Riddle a little bit too much. She was arrested in Florida for possession of the MJ. She said she was holding it for somebody, but I mean, what do you got to say about this, Adrian?
Oof, I mean, the devil's lettuce, man. It's the devil's lettuce for a reason. You get some people, once you get the taste of it, you're like, you want some more? Not really. No, it's not addictive. I know a lot of parents and a lot of teachers in school trying to tell you to stay away from that, but it's not addictive. I mean, it was less than 20 grams. It was in Florida. I don't know the weird rules they got out there. We're in California. I'm not gonna Google that. I don't live over there. I'm not going over there anytime soon. Hey, man, Liv Morgan, she a real one. She ain't no snitch. If she was holding this stuff for someone, hey, props to her.
She was probably holding it for Matt Riddle. Just for our listeners, we will be hanging out with Matt Riddle January 14th at Barrio Toys from 2 to 4 p.m. He's going to be there in Sacramento, bro. Yeah, tickets available on eventbrite.com and in person.
Yep, and I think that that's going to be a good thing for us, a good thing for the fans, a good thing for everybody. You know, hopefully we can grab an interview with him, go viral. But before we go viral with Matt Riddle, I want to talk about two videos that went viral over the weekend. And one of them was the awkward 3-minute commercial break between Randy Orton and the Bloodline. You know, we talked about it on the show numerous times. That's why we don't really review Raw the way we used to back in the day, or should say like 3-4 months ago, because you have individuals come out for a match or a promo, then they go to commercial, then the WWE show comes back from commercial, they go to a backstage segment, they go to a recap of something, then they go to commercial again, and after that second commercial, they go back to that original segment or match that we were originally going to have. Randy Orton seemed awkward for around 3 minutes, Bloodline as well in the ring. I don't know if you saw that video, I know I did.
Yeah, I saw it. And something we've been talking about lately, like you said, like I remember there's this one time where like Becky Lynch came out and then 10 minutes later is when they came back to her in the ring. So at that point, just like, why even send her out there if she's going to be waiting there? And I know the same thing happened with Charlotte Flair after her entrance. When I went to go to SmackDown here in Sacramento, it's frustrating. And they got to figure out some other way of doing TV, I think. It's weird. Like, you can have it be dark in the arena, but have other stuff going on. I don't know, man. There's got to be a way to do around this.
Yeah, like I know some fan was like on our comment section that were like, "Whoa, don't you guys know that WWE has no saying on when commercials are gonna happen?" I'm like, bro,
Yes, they do. Yes,
you
they
have to
do.
know, especially the way they time things. And like you said, even if individuals in the ring in dark mode in front of the live crowd, they're not interacting with the crowd. They're not doing anything. They're just standing there with a thumb up their ass. So
With
it's like
the lights being dark and then the WWE commercials playing on the Titantron. Yep.
yeah, it's like they're not even interacting for the crowd. Why are you gonna send somebody out there just so that the fans can be like, "Oh look, there's Becky Lynch doing a whole bunch of nothing"? And that's what Randy Orton and the Bloodline were doing. They weren't even looking at each other. It was an awkward ass moment. But you know what was awkward in another show? Ring of Honor, the triple threat match between FTR and Mark Briscoe. During that match, a fan in the front row was on their phone. Dax Harwood caught that, went up to the fan and said, "Get off your phone, man. What are you doing?" And obviously, you know, the fans were like, this is why Ring of Honor is trash. Nobody's paying attention. Nobody's paying attention to AEW or Mark Briscoe and FTR on draws. I know I've been through my phone when I'm at a wrestling show. I know you have. Do you have anything to say about that?
I got nothing to say about that. I mean, she's got a right to be on her phone. If the match isn't interesting, that's one thing. But a lot of us, I mean, we have lives, like we're responding to text messages, we're responding to Facebook comments, you know, but it's just weird to me that like the wrestlers got to come in there and be all, "Hey, pay attention to me, bro." Like make yourself, I guess you want to say, be better. Make sure that what you're doing is entertaining, because if somebody's on their phone, rather be texting somebody. I mean, shit happens, right? Life happens. You got to be on your phone, but don't demand that from somebody. You know what I mean? That's kind of disrespectful.
Yeah, I mean, for all we know, she could have been talking to the babysitter. She could have been like, "Hey, this match is great. You should have been here, blah, 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 blah." But yes, it was awkward for Dax Harwood. It was awkward for the fan. It was awkward for the fans that were watching on social media.
And it's a bad look for the wrestler, honestly. It's a
true.
bad look for the wrestlers, more than saying Ring of Honor is boring or whatnot. Like that's, you know, it looks bad on Dax Harwood. Like he's just full of himself. Like, "Oh, I don't want anybody to be on their phone or doing other shit while I'm wrestling."
Yeah, it's like, you know, I know they like to call themselves the top guys, you know. Do they really do live that? Like outside the ring, like, "Hey, I'm a top guy. You should be watching me 24/7.
And they're supposed to be baby faces too, right? Like,
Right? Yes.
that's the other thing about it. If you're a baby face and you're not doing baby face shit in real life, that's kind of weird.
Yes. And I want to bring up something too about some random ass individual who's I don't know if he's a baby face, he's a heel. I want to talk about Karrion Kross, my guy. The man lost in the first round of that United States Championship tournament against Bobby Lashley. And guess what? The following week, they're repackaging him again. And at this point, I'm just like, I don't care. WWE hasn't been putting enough attention on Karrion Kross. His stock went down really bad this past year. I'm not looking for 2024 with Karrion Kross. You know, I was a fan of him in AAA, Impact, the Indies. WWE, not so much. And is that something the booker's fault, or is that the wrestler's fault, or the fans?
It's a little bit of everything. He doesn't seem to be getting himself over, but he's also not given the opportunity to get himself over because he's not really on TV. And then when he's on TV, the booker doesn't continue the story. So it's like, how can you get yourself over if you can't get time on TV?
Facts.
And then when you're given time, they end your story. So in that little short time period, you can't get yourself over. So it's kind of like, I guess you got to blame the booker on this one because they're the ones booking the matches.
Yeah, that is true. And a lot of fans on their comment section were saying, yeah, he's not really interesting, but the only thing that's interesting with Karrion Kross is Scarlett Bordeaux. And I kind of got to agree with that.
I don't understand what you're trying to say. What's interesting about her, Adrian?
She brings more charismatic into the ring. She's more of a draw than him.
Tiene mucha personalidad in Spanish.
Yes.
You know, speaking of people that got personality or lack of personality, did you hear that Top Dolla said that botch saved his life because he found out he had diabetes?
Yes, he was going to lose both of his feet? He went to the doctor right after, and I guess his legs gave out when he was trying to do that tope suicida over the rope, and his feet gave out. I
mean, honestly, it doesn't matter how fat you are. I mean, we saw the same thing happen with Hijo del Vikingo. Like, sometimes it just happens, you know, you fuck up. I mean, I can understand it happens.
But yeah, I mean, luckily, he's fine. You know, he ain't losing both of his feet. You know, hopefully he learns a lesson and lives a healthier lifestyle. But good for him, I guess. He's not going to lose both of his feet.
You know who else got injured? Was Charlotte Flair, dude. She tore her ACL, meniscus, MCL. She's out for 9 months, dude.
Damn.
In that match with Asuka. I know that's your queen, dude.
That is my queen, man. That is my queen. And I know a lot of Mark podcasters like to say whenever injuries happen happen in wrestling, they like to blame bookers, wrestlers, or just everybody in the business, right? But we're not going to blame anybody. It was a freak accident. I saw that injury. I think they replayed it on SmackDown, and I saw it on Twitter with the fan footage. Although, yes, I am sad. She's going to miss Royal Rumble. She's going to miss WrestleMania. It happens. You know, one minute you could be okay. The second minute, a freak injury can happen, and boom, you'll be out for 9+ months. I know some people were saying, "Oh, she's pregnant," blah, 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 which I would be really pissed off because now I would really have to go out and fetch Andrade. But yeah, speedy recovery, queen.
You know, some people were blaming Asuka. I saw online. They're like, it's all Asuka's fault. But I'm like, I don't understand, dude. It was like a freak accident.
Yeah.
I don't understand you can blame Asuka on this one. But hopefully we see the return of somebody. I know they said that Sasha Banks was looking to return, but she's actually asking for more than Charlotte Flair money. Do you think she's worth more than Charlotte Flair?
I like Sasha. I like Mercedes Moné. Don't get me wrong. She was probably like my second favorite 4-horsewoman, right after Charlotte. But I don't know. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think Charlotte would be number 1. Becky, Sasha, Bayley, in my opinion.
Yeah, she's been out of the game for a while. Her name does draw fans. I will say that she does have a following. I don't think that she's gonna get more money than Charlotte, but honestly, Charlotte's the top.
Facts.
Like not even Rhea Ripley. I wouldn't put Rhea Ripley over Charlotte either.
Facts. And what I'm going to say is probably going to sound a little markish, but you know how Naomi and Sasha Banks both walked out of the company?
Yeah.
And then we're talking about Sasha Banks right now, and apparently there was a rumor that Sasha Banks and negotiations with AEW kind of broke down. They're not really talking anymore. Wouldn't that be fucked up if Sasha Banks actually finds a way to get back to WWE while Naomi is in Impact TNA? Because they both left WWE at the same time. We don't know if it was because booking issues. You know, we don't want to be those mark podcasters that just go online and listen and read people's blogs, podcasts, or newsletters, I should say. But if you're left with someone, please make sure to come back with them. You know what I mean?
I mean, to be fair, and I all due respect to Naomi, but she is not Sasha Banks. And that was definitely a power play from Sasha Banks based off of what happened with Bayley at WrestleMania, that they were unhappy to lose the tag team titles. They went out there with job face, if you remember that, when they lost
yes.
to the Iconics. Yes. And then they were like, we're not having that happen again. So she's like, I'm not losing the title. So then she walked out, and Naomi just was backing up her friend. But obviously, it's like in basketball, right? LeBron James can demand a trade, and then the scrub guy, bottom of the bench, he's demanding a trade, but you're like, let's get rid of him. They'll eventually bring the other person back, but the other one, you know what I mean? It's weird.
The only reason why I brought up Naomi, because she's more charismatic than Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell, even though she had a good match against Becky Lynch. But I would actually bring Naomi back to get rid of some women that are currently on the roster. But
Candice LeRae, bro.
Yeah, Candice, that's what I'm saying. But guess who did return over the weekend on an episode of Collision? None other than La Mera Mera, Thunder Rosa, man. She made her much anticipated re-debut or return to the ring to save Abaddon from a beating with Sky Blue and Julia Hart.
Yeah, I think it's weird that Julia Hart's teaming up with Sky Blue now after everything that happened.
Yes.
And then I think it's weird that Thunder Rosa is the one saving Abaddon. It's fucking weird all over the place. But at least she's back on TV and we get to see her wrestle and do what she does best. But this story makes no fucking sense at all. Like, Abaddon's barely on TV. She's gonna disappear in like a week anyways.
Damn. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. It doesn't make sense because Julia Hart sprayed Sky Blue with the mist, and Sky Blue was turning, and it turns out she didn't turn at the end, and now they're teaming? So I'm like, if you wanted to do the turn, you should have done the turn the first time, right? Exactly,
yeah. She should have just turned initially, as opposed to try to challenge her, lose, and then challenge again, and then now she's joining. I guess if you can't beat them, join them, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, yeah, and I know Thunder Rosa was just standing by doing the Spanish commentary and saved Abaddon from a beating, but I mean, still, it's like, no disrespect to Abaddon. I know she brings something to the table. I would rather have Thunder Rosa. Hopefully they can start a feud. Most likely they won't, because that's how Tony Khan books. But Thunder Rosa on TV and Collision is going to be great.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm a fan of Abaddon. It's just the story, it doesn't make sense. But I'm glad there are all these women on TV.
Yep.
You know who does need to be on TV more is Britt Baker. She's been MIA for a couple months, and she's been complaining. Mm-hmm. She's been getting fined by Daniel Bryan. I'm dead.
I mean, yeah, she was when we met Thunder Rosa at the Barrio Toys. I told her, man. I was like, hey, I watched the show. I see a lot of politicking from Britt Baker, yes, and I told Thunder Rosa, you need to come back and beat her ass. And Thunder Rosa was like, yeah, and you could tell that Thunder Rosa does not like Britt Baker. It's real heat, and she did not want to talk about Baker, but it's the truth. Britt Baker, she's politicking, and if you guys haven't seen it, go watch AEW All Access or just YouTube the clip that I'm talking about. But yeah, all Britt Baker's doing is just politicking in the back. But one person that does need to be politicking or work on his contract is MJF. Because this news came out, I believe it was this past Tuesday, that he said that he still has not re-signed with AEW and his contract will expire on January 1st, 2024. Do you think Tony Khan will make something happen before then, or do you think he's going to test the waters in free agency?
I think he already signed with AEW, and he's just making a big deal about it because, this is the same thing that CM Punk did, and everybody that tries to get more money from Tony Khan is that they start hanging around WWE wrestlers. For example, CM Punk, remember how he was like in the backstage trying to go to Monday Night Raw while he was suspended?
Yes.
From AEW.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden, MJF's best friends with Baron Corbin is being seen at all these events with WWE wrestlers. I don't know, man. I think he's signed with the AEW, and he's just trying to just get his name out there a little bit more.
Ooh.
In reality, I mean, like, if he leaves for WWE now, like, what is he gonna do? Win the Royal Rumble from CM Punk, Randy Orton, or somebody else? You know what I mean?
That
like,
is true.
where does he fit in WWE if he goes over there?
Yeah, that's true. And knowing MJF, he's probably not gonna go to NXT. But you're right. You know what? You just said something that I did not think about. What if AEW is doing that storyline with CM Punk and John Cena, Money in the Bank 2011, where CM Punk's contract ends at midnight and he ends up winning the match in Chicago and leaves the arena with champion with no contract in hand. And then the following week, WWE had a tournament. Rey Mysterio won that tournament. John Cena re-won that title from Rey Mysterio, that's why I hate John Cena. What if they're doing something similar? I would not like that. I would not like to see one world champion for a day. I didn't like it when WWE did it, and I'm not going to like it if AEW does it, but they could go that route.
Yeah, they could. I honestly see that's kind of how that story is going to end up playing. It just doesn't make sense that he's going to go to WWE, especially right now with all the storylines they got going around him. He's not going to WWE.
Yeah. They got a bunch of mocks. They have a bunch of people finishing the quote-unquote stories. Some people aren't even on the right show to finish their stories, but they do have a lot of stories. And speaking of stories, one story that I have not been a fan of since the beginning, and I'm a fan of it now, is the Judgment Day storyline. Why? Because I've said it from the beginning. They're jobbers.
You don't like that that R-Truth is part of the Judgment Day?
Oh, now I do, because they're goofballs.
Now you do. Okay.
And R-Truth is a goofball. They finally bring some entertainment, some tomfoolery to the ring. I'm not gonna say I'm a fan of them, but I've been saying for a whole year that they're goofballs, they're jobbers with the push, and that stats show that they are jobbers. I have the numbers here in front of me. If you want them, I can repeat them, but no, you guys can Google them. And yeah, R-Truth in Judgment Day could be somewhere. It could be that little comedy push that Judgment Day needs in 2024, because let's be honest, they are not running shit, even though they keep saying it every week. The numbers don't lie, and they're just jobbers.
Yeah, they're jobbers, but you know, they're still entertaining. I've loved the whole Judgment Day storyline with Dom and Rhea and Damon Priest, how they're like about to break up, but then they for some reason end up winning the tag team titles with 5-on-2. Like, it's been an interesting up and down story of jobberhood, and I'm all here for it. I love the Judgment Day.
Yeah, that's a little bit on the telenovela route that I do not like. I grew up watching telenovelas because I was forced to watch telenovelas.
Bro, so you didn't like the Attitude Era when DX was all helping Triple H? It's my time. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that's to put Triple H over, but they're not even helping Damien Priest, and he has a briefcase. They should be going after the participation world title. They should be going after Roman Reigns. Hell, go after Gunther for all I care. Do something.
Nah. Gunther, nobody fucks with Gunther, bro. He's the top of the top.
The cream of the crop.
The cream of the crop. Bro.
But yeah, I think 2024 is going to be the goofy year for Judgment Day, and you can already see the seeds being planted. They're going to go out there and be the goofballs that they are with R-Truth. You're going to see a lot of comedic segments, a lot of comedic in their matches. But yeah, that's what I see them going in 2024. But yeah, they're still goofballs. They're still jobbers. Actually, you know what? If they do turn face and become goofballs, like I've been saying, they might end up winning. So I'd rather see that.
You know, speaking of goofballs, dude, and I just don't like this WWE Women's Tag Team Championship thing that they got going on with Chelsea Green and Dewdrop, aka Piper Niven. I mean, it's sad that her partner got injured, right? It's what's her face? Sonya Deville got injured, right?
Yeah.
But Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, bro.
What's wrong with them?
They should have not won it. They should have gave it to the SmackDown chicks, Isla Dawn, and I forgot the other fucking girl's name, Alba Fire, because they've been MIA too. When they were the NXT Women's Champions. They've been MIA, bro.
Bro, everybody on SmackDown is MIA. Roman Reigns, Logan Paul, fucking those two chicks. Like, where are they, man? And somebody said this on the comment section too. SmackDown has literally no champions on their TV. Like, what's up with that? I mean, Logan Paul won the title 1 week, and then he goes MIA for 3 weeks.
Yeah, Logan Paul, Roman Reigns on vacation. Io Sky is there, but she's never defending the title. They don't have their own SmackDown. They don't have their own...
She's still champion?
She's still champion.
I forgot to be honest. For some reason, I thought it was Asuka. I don't know why.
The tag team champions are always on Raw. They're never on SmackDown. Yeah, bro. That show is championless at this point.
Damn, but I mean, I'm glad Katana Chance and Kaden Carter are the new women's tag team champions because I was not feeling Doudrop. Chelsea Green is funny sometimes. At least Katana Chance and Kaden Carter got some chemistry like an actual tag team, and hopefully they can finally, for literally Karrion Kross style for the 10th time, they can get these tag team titles over because they've been a curse from the beginning. As you mentioned earlier, as soon as Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville captured the tag team titles, Sonya Deville got injured and the curse continued. Hopefully we can end that curse and they can just become champions. I would like for them to transition to and from Raw and SmackDown. That would be dope.
Yeah, but I don't know if we're going to see that. I know Triple H is pushing for like a lighter workload for the wrestlers. Like they have like this whole week off of Christmas. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens there. So then we also have The Miz that lost, he lost the title opportunity to Gunther. So no, he can't challenge for the title while Gunther is champion. This doesn't mean much because he loses every match anyways.
Yeah, no, it doesn't mean much. When Gunther does lose the title, most likely they're going to give it to someone else. And then when Miz does get a chance, he's going to become the 16-time champion or whatever time champion he is. And I don't know if you noticed, but they named out Chris Jericho on that episode of Raw. So most likely they will have Miz tie with Jericho and beat him.
Yeah, fuck Chris Jericho, bro. I know he said that if I die tomorrow, that I'm going to be known as one of the greatest wrestlers to ever do it because I'm still wrestling at the highest level. And honestly, I'm going to disagree with him because was he at the highest level for most of his career? No, he was not. Yes, he had some top of the business runs, but for the most part, I would say he was a mid-carder, no?
Yeah, he was a glorified mid-carder. Obviously, he won the IC title for a long time. He was also tag team champions with the Big Show. I think they held the titles for over a year, remember?
Jericho, yeah. And then he was best friends with Kevin Owens. Like, he's always been there, but I wouldn't say he's been at the main card. I would say he's like Edge. Him and Edge are equals.
Or, yeah, Jeff Hardy, where like you're in the mid card, then you go to the main event, and then you're like switching from the mid card to the main event, and then
you're in betweener.
Yes.
You're the Miz, bro. That's who you are, but just wins more. Because he's been everywhere, bro. He's been in the tag teams, been in the Continental, he's been European champion, he's been world champion. But then
all the mid-card titles.
Then there was a period that he didn't do shit. He was just a lackey to Kevin Owens and some other people. Then he had to create the Money in the Bank title match, right? Because he was in the mid-card for like the longest time. So where do you say he's the greatest of all time? No, I wouldn't say he's there, but he's a good wrestler. He would be in the WWE Mind of Fame of Vince McMahon for sure.
Probably, yep. But one person that's known to be one of the greats is the son of a plumber, Cody Rhodes. This man is going after Nakamura now and in backstage promos after dissing his dad, that his dad was vomit. I don't know if that's what he actually said or if that's what was translated. But, I mean, I'm liking this feud with Cody Rhodes and Nakamura, but see, that's the thing. It's like Nakamura's finally getting the character that he deserves, but he's losing all the time. And I'm like, come on, man, at least give him a few W's before you go up against main event talent. Because at this point, it's just going to be like, wow, I mean, we already know Cody's not going to lose. Or if he does lose, it's going to be a big curveball. Do you think he's going to lose in this feud with Nakamura? And I think their match is at day one, correct?
Yeah, it is. No, he's not losing. That motherfucker's going to win for sure, bro.
Yeah, see, I mean, I like Nakamura's character. I like how he's doing his vignettes, his backstage promos, and they have the subtitles. But I mean, it's like, give him some W's, you know, make me care about the man. Have him challenge for Gunther's title. Have him go to SmackDown, challenge for the US title or something. You know, the draft doesn't mean shit, so he can go over there whenever he wants. Not even that, just give him some W's. I mean, yeah, Alpha Academy was a good set of W's for Nakamura, but in my opinion, he needs more before he starts going up against main event talent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. He needs to do something else. He needs to get some dubs, but against some credible talent. But the thing is, who is credible talent outside of Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, and CM Punk on Raw? Judgment Day? No. Like Gunther? No.
Ciampa, Bronson Reed?
The Creed brothers? No, he just beat Bronson Reed not too long ago. It was him, Ricochet, trading wins, remember?
Oh, yeah. Chad Gable was a credible challenger.
He just beat him, too. He also beat...
do rematches, bro. They do them on WWE all the time, bro. They can do it again.
There's nobody else credible. That's what I'm trying to say. What is he gonna do? Beat the fucking Miz? Like, no.
Maybe he could beat Tozawa again.
Maybe yell at Japanese at each other and be like "beach" at the end. Just like who was it, Asuka and Io Sky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, so let's kind of fast forward here. Did you like this episode of AEW Dynamite?
The matches delivered. They had the ongoing storyline with the Devil, which I was very entertained. They had it throughout the show. At the beginning, Samoa Joe said that, you know, we get film footage of the Devil's goons attacking individuals, but that one week, we did not get footage of MJF being attacked. So now he's blaming MJF for making all this up, staging his attack.
He was doing the Jussie Smollett.
Yeah, so I'm interested in, I guess, the Devil challenge MJF for the Ring of Honor tag team titles, and Samoa Joe is going to be his partner again, and I think this is going to happen next week.
So they're rerunning it back.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is the thing they had an issue with AEW this week. This episode and the episode 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, the exact same.
Which was?
They've been trying to figure out who the fuck is the Devil all episode, and then at the end, the Devil comes out and tries to attack MJF and Samoa Joe. They get offered a title shot. They're going to get a title shot next week, and then they had a whole bunch of in-between matches of the Continental Classic.
Yeah, because the Continental Classic is coming to an end in 9 days. We are filming on December 21st, 2023.
But we had just pointless matches. We had the 0-5 bowl, so somebody had to win to end their losing streak. We had the Jay White match versus
Jon Moxley.
That
was a good match, actually. A lot of tomfoolery from Jay White. Being a heel, distracting the ref. I like the little play that he did when he brought out 2 steel chairs on the ringside, and then he threw one on the ring and like pushed it on the other side. So the ref went and chased that chair, and while the ref's back was turned, Jay White hit Jon Moxley with a chair on the back of his knee. And that was a good move. That was a good heelish move. But yeah, I was very surprised that Jay White got the W over Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley seemed like the Undertaker of this Continental Classic. I thought he was going to come up with a W.
As soon as they had everybody at like 9 points, so Jay White being 9 points and the other two being stuck at 12 or whatever it was clear that this was going to happen.
Yeah, I remember I texted you, remember? I went on Twitter and I saw the thing, oh, this could happen. If Jay White beats Jon Moxley, we could have
They're going to have a three-way. But that was never announced at the beginning, right? Like the top two were going to have battle it off. But then as soon as they announced it, I'm like, that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, I think they announced it like at the very, very beginning, even before they even had matches. And they didn't announce it ever since until the day of the show. And I texted you right away. Oh, geez, I wonder what match we're going to get next week. You know, yeah. A little joke.
Exactly. I'm like, well, see, but other than that, like in theory, that's the only match you could have missed this whole entire episode of AEW Dynamite, except that one match.
Yeah, the other good match was Swerve and Rush. I know Rush is losing, but I just like his style, the hard-hitting style that he has. Yeah, Rush, Penta, Brian Cage, Jon Moxley, Swerve Strickland, Hangman Adam Page, Will Hobbs, Takeshita, Kenny Omega, they all have hard-hitting styles. That meat division in AEW is very exciting.
That meat division. Bro, speaking of meat, you know who's not going to be eating meat anytime soon? It's Kenny Omega, bro. That fool's got diverticulitis.
Damn, yeah, I know. He's going to be out indefinitely. Very well for AEW to point that out. I know in other shows, they would have been like, oh, so-and-so got attacked by a mystery opponent, and he's going to be out for 10 plus months, blah, 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 blah. It's like, bro, stop making shit out of stories, bro. Just let individuals just go out. The whole world knows they're injured already. You know, just let them go out and just mention it. Hey, yeah, so-and-so suffered an injury. He's going to be out indefinitely.
I did see online that people were clowning on Kenny Omega because the F5 maneuver on Fight Forever is called diverticulitis.
Damn.
And then apparently it came out that Kenny Omega named the moves. So the fact that he got diverticulitis is people were laughing at the karma about that.
Yeah. Isn't that what Brock Lesnar had?
Yeah, Brock Lesnar had diverticulitis.
Damn. Yeah, well, speedy recovery for Kenny Omega, man, because that's nothing to mess around with.
Yeah, because the AEW fucking sucks, bro, honestly. So we need to see that. At least he's something interesting to watch on TV.
Yeah, man. Speaking of this, since we're on Kenny Omega, his buddy Kota Ibushi, apparently somebody leaked the story on social media, on Twitter, on X, that Kota Ibushi was dating Lizzo. Did you see that?
Yeah, and then Kota Ibushi said, "What's that? Is that a wrestler?" so it popped up in my head that I'm like, maybe he's thinking of Nia Jax, bro. I have no idea because they had like the similar outfit in that picture, bro. But yeah,
bro, that's fucked up. Whoever did that, poor Kota Ibushi, bro. No man deserves that. Speedy recovery for Charlotte Flair and Kenny Omega. We love to see them back. We got to see Thunder Rosa back. And one thing I did want to talk about before we leave, Mike Rotunda had said that WWE had signed Bray Wyatt to a Legends contract and all proceeds would go to his family. I think that's a good move on WWE. We lost Bray Wyatt too soon, and it's great for WWE to do stuff like this, especially for his children, his wife, JoJo. You know, most likely WWE is still going to use the Bray Wyatt character in video games, sponsoring ship on WWE Shop, and it's only fair for them to give all proceeds to the Wyatt family, don't you think? Or the Rotunda family.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I know JoJo used to be a WWE announcer, so I mean, that whole family for generations has been involved in WWE, so it's the best thing that they could possibly do. I know how WWE is going to be taking care of that entire family, regardless of anything going forward. So it's definitely a classy move from WWE.
Yeah, but about time they do something classy like this, because some could say that it's due to Vince McMahon. Others can say that, oh, it's Endeavor and Paul Levesque trying to take care of the family. And I think that's what AEW did with Brody Lee as well. They hired his wife, Amanda. And it's glad that these companies are finally, taking care of people's families, because these individuals, these wrestlers, they gave up their family time. They put their bodies on the line for our entertainment. And it's only fair, You give your body to the company, and now the company is giving back. I think that's a very classy move from WWE.
Speaking of classy moves, and it's going to be completely different, but SPW, Supreme Pro Wrestling, is bringing in EC3. Ethan Carter III will be making his debut at the SPW Arena.
Versus Drake Frost, right?
Versus Drake Frost on, I want to say it's January 21st. Let me double check.
I think it's January 21st.
January 21st, yes. Yep. They'll be taking on each other at SPW Arena. Tickets are on sale. Meet and greet available through Collectible Stampede. Follow us on Instagram for more information on that as well. I was going to say, anything else you want to say, Adrian?
No, I think we're all done here for the week. We covered all of wrestling. We covered my first love, Club America. We've been sacrificing a lot for this podcast, for this thing to come alive. We've been not hanging out with our families. We've been missing some births, some baptisms, holidays with our families, because we want to get this podcast over. We're working on this 24/7, and I think we should take a week off, don't you think?
I would say yes. We will be taking off until, what is it, technically January 1st? Something like that.
I believe so, yeah.
Till next year, 2024, Triggered Wrestling will be up and running once again, starting the new year off, triggered as always.
Yep. And we may not have another show next week, so we'll come with the show in 2 weeks, but make sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms at Triggered Wrestling. Join the conversation on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We have a lot of cool memes out there coming out, a lot of this and that. Go look at our YouTube channel. We have other interviews with several individuals. We have one with Roy Lucier, a Lucha Libre historian. We have one coming out with Oscar King Studios. He's a photographer for a bunch of luchadors. I think he runs Pentagon's Instagram as well, right?
That I have no idea if he does run it, but I do know that they're good friends.
Yes. So So yeah, make sure to join the conversation. I know we gained a lot of following this past month. I believe we gained almost 1,000 followers on Facebook. We gained over 200 followers the past, 2.5 weeks on YouTube. So if you guys are new to the pod, go listen to our content. Please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button for new episodes. I'm Adrian. That's Brian. Most importantly, stay triggered.
Bang, bang.